Good morning. It is January the 31st, 2018. The first month of 2018 is gone, and it flew past, at least from my perspective. Hypothetical or simulated performance results have certain limitations. Unlike an actual performance record, simulated results do not represent actual trading. Also, since the trades have not been executed, results may have over or undercompensated for the impact of any of certain market factors, such as lack of liquidity. Simulated trading programs in general are also subject to the fact that they're designed with the benefit of hindsight. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profit or losses similar to those shown. Well, Trump gave his speech last night, and it wasn't too tough to guess that the speech would be economically supportive. He wouldn't come out and say anything. He recapped the historic economic gains that have been made in the first year, and he pointed to more to come. He didn't back down on the immigration, from what I could tell from what he had proposed. He's willing to give a path to citizenship for, at least on paper, 1.8 million dreamers, but he also had a beautiful line, in his speech last night, that Americans are dreamers too, when he was talking about all the things that Americans had dreamed up and built over the last couple of hundred years, including our democracy, our representative democracy, to be technically correct. So the speech was pretty much as expected, and the stock market's initial reaction to it was to rally. It rallied to 1 a.m. in the morning, sold, came back down, retested the lows that came as Trump started his speech. They held, and the market is pointed higher right now. So we're probably dealing with a stock market that's going to at least retest overhead resistance. And if that is the case, it'll probably make it pretty tough for the note to take out 122. We have the FOMC announcement today. All the chatter has been about the Fed's forward guidance. No changes expected in policy. The first interest rate increases. The markets are trading for March for number 1, June for number 2, and probably Dece for number 3. But what will Janet say in her last meeting? Will she be more hawkish? Will she be more dovish? Will she say what she said before? My guess is she'll say what she said before, because we don't have Fed governors out there floating trial balloons. So no changes expected in interest rates today. We will have the 3-10 30-year auction amounts today, and given the strength of the economy and tax collection, those numbers could come in lower than forecast. If that's true, that will be probably the biggest factor that we look at today as far as how treasuries go. If it comes in less than forecast, treasuries can rally. Comes in more than forecast than the last one, they can sell a little bit more. So we're in a downtrend because of interest rate increases. We have news today. ADP 196. I've seen it as low as 188. We've got employment cost index plus 0.6. Trump cited the fact that real wages are starting to rise again. Chicago PMI at 64. Crude inventories at plus 100,000 barrels. And the APIs last night grew at 3.2, which is the second week in a row the APIs have grown. So the ADP number, Chicago PMI, will be the market's focus. 27 to 31, sell 1. 3 to 7, sell 2. 17 to 21, buy 1. 9 to 13, buy 2. I went outside early, an hour or so ago, and the moon was partially covered, and you could see a reddish hue if you looked at it very, very closely. I've seen the blood moons before, and astronomically they're big deals. The photographs that we get from them will be more informative and definitive than what I could see with my naked eye. The moon sure was big, though. That much I'll give it. Okay, 28 to the buck, 1, 3 to 7, sell 1, 11 to 15, sell 2. I think treasuries are still trading lower. On the buy side, 16 to 20, number 1, 9 to 13, buy 1, 29 to 01, buy 2. Let them get stops below 47. I watched the speech last night, and if you're trying to sell yourself as the answer and the upbeat party and got things going, I don't think the Democrats helped their cause last night. Everybody sure knew that they were angry, but not a very positive turnout, and nothing got them up out of their seats consistently. And Steny Hoyer and Nancy Pelosi had the deepest frowns of anybody that I saw when they panned the cameras. Looking at gold, got a buyer 35 to 40, have a seller 50 to 55 right now, and we're at 47. So 49 to 51, sell 1, 54, 56, sell 2. 39.41, buy 1, and it might take 45s to get in early in the session. I don't know. So this we'll put a question mark at 43. This single print right here, and then 35, 37, buy 2. Well, there's some heartbreaking stories in the galleries last night, and you know, it's you know, I had the good fortune to travel and see a lot of places in the world, and you look at these pictures that are put up on MS-13. There are a couple of places in the world that I've been where the hair on your back, your skin would crawl, the hair on your back would come up. You just knew you were in an environment that where people could just as soon as kill you as look at you. And a lot of people don't have that experience. There are bad guys out there that will do just that. Okay, the euro was up, as you can see, pretty much all the way through the speech. The dollar slide is expected to continue. I think when the Fed raises interest rates again, of course, that'll be over. So the euro's up, the yen was down a little bit against the dollar. It's split, it's not across the board. We're right back to where we were, so 25.25, sell 1. 25.50, sell 2. On the buy side, the London low is 63, so we'll make 50 to 60, buy 1. And 35, let them get stops below that, 2. And we'll make 25 to 15, buy 2. I'm sure everybody's been in parts of the city where you're more than cautious where you walk, and your antenna is plugged in and working. That even happened to Jesse Jackson, although he doesn't admit it, when he talked about how sad it was for certain parts of the city that a group of young men coming his way would make him pause, stop and pause, or cross the street and go to the other side to get out of their way. There are bad guys out there. It's best to stay out of harm's way than it is to confront it, unless you're prepared to do battle. Looking at crude oil, low volume numbers at 63.64. We had a 63.50 75 buy last night, so it still looks reasonable. 63 even, 63 and a quarter for buy 2. Got a P trying to trade higher. Right up here we've got so a limit sell at 64, 33, 32 on this scale to 18. So 18 limit sell in this area structurally is where you would consider a short. So we'll make it 25 to 50 sell 1 and 75 to the buck sell 2. 10, you're right. They always do pack the gallery with tough stories up there. But last night's were probably a little bit more than I remember. Showmanship. But a lot of the people that were in the gallery last night were self-imposed wounds. We did it to ourselves. Did not have to happen. As opposed to, you know, a hurricane or a fire or an earthquake. Okay, looking at the Emini. The Emini is poised to trade higher right here. I think the issue is this 40 to 45 area. You can just see it right there. That was the last rotate up was 45.50. Yesterday's financials, we had a high at 43. The day session high was right at 39. So 39.41 sell 1, 44.46 sell 2. I don't think we can. I don't know if we can have the third day of selling. I don't think we can probably bust yesterday's lows, but we'll see. 30.32 buy 1. 25.27 buy 2. ADP 196. Chicago PMI 64. Crude oil plus 100,000 barrels. I think that'll be the news focus. We do have pending home sales. That number up 0.5%. Housing numbers have been mixed, but that one could come in lower. So I think the focus will be Chicago PMI and the ADP number. Okay, going to take a bit to get everything up and posted. Going to get busy on that. Back with you as soon as possible.